Joining us now to discuss is Chief Strategy Officer at Young Americans for Liberty, Brendan Steinhauser, also Newsmax contributor and ambassador with the American First Policy Institute, Tom Borelli, and Director of Membership Development of Project 21 Black Leadership Network, Donna Jackson. Thank you all for coming on. And Tom, I'll just start with you if I can really quickly. Just your overall thoughts on that report there from Kilmeny, changing some of the language that we've seen there over the years.
Well, Sean, what we know about Democrats are they actually have a very good messaging. They always are able to set the debate by using words and languages to advance their cause. And this is yet another example. But at the bottom line, however, this just shows how extreme the Democrat Party really is. They are in full support of late-term abortion up until the child is born. You could use all the words you want. You could use a fancy gloss it over. But at the end of the day, that is gruesome. It is a gruesome procedure. It is horrible, and it's infanticide up at the 9th month. So they can use their words, but they can't change the end result.
Donna, what do you make of these new talking points?
Well, listen, they might have good messaging, but their policies are very destructive. We've noticed that all over America. Look at this Green New Deal initiatives that are making millions of Americans suffer. Look at Black communities that have historically voted for liberals for over 50 years that are decimated, full of crime. Education is at its lowest point. So none of their policies, irregardless of their messaging, works. In fact, it's the most destructive of any group that we've ever seen in this country.
And Brendan, your thoughts, if we could just look, throw me those words again. I just want to take a look at some of those because it went from decision to choice, I think, or choice rather, to decision. That's helpful. Harmful is unwanted pregnancy. Helpful language is unexpected pregnancy, and you can go down the list there. Brendan, which one stands out to you? And then your thoughts on changing the messaging here.
Well, I think all of these are an attempt to basically survive a very rough political year. This is all political for the Democrats. They're out of touch. They're out of step on this issue and a lot of other issues. But frankly, I think this is a big distraction from them to say we need to turn the discussion away from things that we're losing on, like high inflation, gas prices that are hitting the poor and middle class disproportionately. We have massive spending. So I think they see an election coming up where they're going to have huge losses. And so they're trying to reinvigorate their base at the same time while avoiding losing independent and swing voters. And I think that's what this is an attempt to do. But I don't think it's going to work. I think the American people are too smart to fall for this messaging attempt.
I want to play a soundbite. This is from a Democratic Congresswoman, Katie Porter, and she brings up the cost that Americans are seeing, the inflation that we're seeing, but then also ties it back to abortion. Let's listen.
Things like inflation can happen, and it can become more expensive to feed your kids and to fuel your car, is exactly why people need to be able to be in charge of how many mouths they're going to have to feed. So I think the fact that we're seeing this jump in expenses, that we're seeing people having to pay more in the grocery store, pay more at the pump, pay more for housing, is a reason that people are saying, I need to be able to make my own decisions about when and if to start a family.
Oh, Tom Borelli, your reaction to that?
How morally bankrupt is that individual? You can't afford children, so kill the child? That's absolutely outrageous. And again, it just shows how extreme the current Democrat Party is. This was not my father's Democrat Party. My father was a union postal worker. He would be, if he was alive today, he would be outraged at what the Democrat Party has become. And I think a lot of people are outraged because the Democrat Party is the party of extreme. Pick the issue, they're on the far, far left side and actually off the cliff.
All right, final thoughts from Donna, and then we got to go.
This inflation we're living in is self-inflicted by this administration, but it shows that the Democratic Party has picked winners and losers. They feel like if you are poor, that you have no value, that they decided that your life amounts to nothing and you can't actually help improve this community. So they're so morally bankrupt, it's disgusting.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Brendan Steinhauser joining us live, as well as Tom Borelli. We appreciate your time. Donna Jackson, thank you so much. Great to see all of you